Welcome to Wednesdays with Wayne, and it's mid-March and time to get busy in the garden. There's a lot to do at this time of the year. First off, I'd want to talk about the planters that I put in November. They're still actually looking somewhat green, so it's pretty amazing that 4 to 5 months later, these planters are still looking good. Time to change them out. The pansies, maybe some lettuce even in the planters. We'll get those changed out for early spring. We're going to be working on the hydrangeas pretty soon. These are limelights, panicle hydrangea. They'll be cut back by about 1/3. Of course, it's going to be time to get these ornamental grasses down. They offered such great winter interest. Now it's time to cut them down to just a few inches above the ground. It's also time to work on some of the perennials, actually all the perennials. We're going to be cutting off all the dead foliage. Underneath you can see some great new foliage. The lavender is looking great, partially because of all the snow we had. That snow was a great insulator blanket for all the perennials. It was about 2 feet deep, and it actually even preserved things like the flowering kale that was put in the fall. This normally would not look this fresh and new at this time of the year, but the snow totally insulated it. On these lavenders, I'll just do a light trim on those. Maybe about a quarter of the plant will be cut off. You never want to cut lavender back to the ground. These other evergreens in the beds were just temporary, so I'll be pulling them out. Again, you can see a lot of the foliages here. Butterfly bush that was just recently planted, so we'll determine whether that's alive or dead in the next couple weeks. Here's a perennial mum. This old foliage will be cut back, and look at that great new growth underneath. The sedge grass, we'll get a light trim on it. Actually, it'll get a pretty heavy trim. We'll cut that back to just a few inches above the ground. Start to clean up all the leaves in the beds. The crocus are starting to bloom, so that's a sure sign of springtime. Look at all the daffodil foliage coming up. Some Siberian squills there as well. So there's a lot of work to get done, a lot of trimming, a lot of cleanup. So thank you for joining Wednesdays with Wayne, sponsored by Niemeyer's Landscape Supply. And remember, beautiful landscapes start here.